Hi everybody, welcome to Beyond the Lines. It's time to color. Today I'm going to work in the Lizzie Cullen book again. It's the Magical City, and I'm finishing off the Shard, this page here, with acrylic paint and gouache and other tiny little pencils and pens there that help me. So join me here and see how you can work with acrylics or other media that you might not have chosen first round in your coloring books or on other drawing, but take that concept then and apply it to other artwork where sometimes you might just want to be brave with the media that you're going to choose. This is pretty much the lesson of today. I'm going to give you a teaser for next week. I will have one more page, one more scenery page. I have to get the book. I'm so unprepared. Hold on, folks. I'm going to have one more scenery before I go to the next color that I'm going to talk about, and have a couple of episodes where I finish a whole page in one episode and I'm talking about the different media and the different colors and how I like to work with them, and show you a few things there. But for now I'm going to tease what's going to come up next. I decided to work on page 3 in the Outlander coloring book. This is one of the very few books, and I told you that in a few episodes, but maybe you're just joining me here on the first go, so how could you know? Well, you're probably not psychic. This is the page that I'm going to work with. It's the third page in the book. It's a family shield sign, and I have said in the last couple of videos that I'm researching for that page. Well, I did. I found the information that I needed in the first Outlander companion book, so this is prep work for Beyond the Lines, and I'm going to talk all about that next week on Thursday on the spot. But for now, let's finish off this very whimsical page in the Magical City. Let's put the Shard into quite a nice scenery there. Alright, so last time round I colored this one here, and this looks like nothing yet. Don't worry, I'm gonna add details. But before I go about that, I told you that in the intro I told you that I would color the background. And you've seen that it is a solid black. Now before I do that, I want to show you the page that I did before, and show you what, well, it looks like. So you really can use acrylics or watery things in your coloring book, depending on the paper, of course, and how much you despise any crinkling going on. But I found that with pages like this, where I only have the middle part done with very watery stuff and everything around it be not watered down, that keeps the crinklage quite at bay. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to finish this page. For one, gonna put the big acrylics saving paper behind my page. I do have a bit of black going on from the old page anyway, so I mean that just screams for using acrylics also on this one, and then having a very dark scene and set things apart with a white permanent marker. I'm using 2 brushes, flat ones that are ages old. This is a size 6 flat. This is a size 16 flat. They're nothing fancy, but they work well enough for what I want to do today in this coloring book. And I'm using Schminke Lamp Black acrylic color. This is artist quality, and I'm only using that because I also use it on the back page, so if I have smudges or anything, well, it's the same color. Now, here's a tip. If you don't want a palette to use it and you have bottles or something, that come with a natural small container, use them. Gonna put something on top of my bottle. In this case, an eraser to stop the color dry. And I'm gonna start by coloring around, or no, I'm going right to left. So let's be very careful. And I'm not gonna add any water to this, because then I keep the crinklage at bay. And I'm pretty much very carefully just gonna color the whole background black. You really have to get in there and lean to look. I don't want the acrylics to go to the other side of this page, and I don't want the background paper to move as much, because then I get that kind of thing going on the other side. And I don't know the margin anymore. I know I just flipped the page, but if I'm not sure, I'm just being extra careful not to ruin anything. Going to the edges only if I need to, like the last part of this background coloring will be the edges towards the protection paper, because I can jiggle things around while I am still on the inner parts here. It might, by the way, be that I don't need the big brush. I just bring more than one brush when it comes to coloring in a coloring book. And I'm using acrylics or watercolors or ink tints. You saw me using 2 brush sizes already with the ink tints. Now I brought 2 brush sizes for the acrylics, but it might be that I'm only going to use the small one, because I'm actually having quite the coverage there. And you know, if you apply acrylics to this kind of coloring paper, not the acrylics paper, you get quite the chalky finish there, which helps a lot, because then you don't have the ripping noises going on when you flip through your coloring book. There's no sticking together, even with those high quality colors that do have a different binder in there that usually is prone to make the ripping noise when you apply this color in journals or any kind of books. And you're not varnishing, which I never do. I don't varnish. I varnish wooden artwork, like if I gotta concentrate. Talking or concentrating, okay. If I work with wood, I do varnish, but not so much when I work in books. Also, when you do this concentrated work and really want to have a steady hand, it helps not to hold your breath, but to breathe extra slowly and through your mouth, and do the technique that photographers and sharpshooters do. What, Sarah? Sharpshooters? Yes. To lower your blood pressure and pulse, if you breathe through your mouth very slowly, you lower your heartbeat, your rate of heartbeat throughout the minute, and then you're less prone to shaking. So if you do that with artwork as well, you might be able to draw or paint straighter lines. There's my line work. Guess you can't really hear it, but I'm breathing through my mouth when I don't talk and go towards those lines. I'm sorry, I had to breathe there instead of talk. Okay. I'm not going to the edges right away. I'm gonna do that when I really can keep the paper straight, but for now I want to make sure that I do have a nice curve going on here. I'm probably having my head in frame all the time. I'm sorry about that, but I really gotta look straight down to make this work. Right. Getting there. And don't worry, I will have a white outline as well once the acrylics are dry. And there I can mask any bumpy things that might go on right about now on the page. And on the other hand, I don't want it to be photo perfect because, well, it's a coloring book. It's a piece that is handmade. If you want to margin with the black outlines and you find it a bit too intimidating or too scary maybe to go in with acrylic paint right away, one thing you could always do is outline the lines with the black marker and then only color to those lines, so you have a bit more space between the thing you want to outline and the acrylic paint. If you find that too intimidating or you don't like things like I have here right now, I'm gonna have it altered a bit. I don't care. Others do. If you care and it bothers you, well, then go around the outline of the image with a permanent marker in the color that you choose for the background, and then, well, only color with the, let's say, acrylics up to that line that you drew earlier with a marker. That helps. It's not as intimidating as going right in like I do now. But again, I don't care if I alter things maybe a tiny bit with those rays here of the buildings or the clouds. I don't care. Going over many parts of that with a white marker. Anyway, so, like for example here, just had a bit too much of black paint, so I'm just gonna repair it. Since I'm not having a perfect circle, but items that go outside the circle, it's not as obvious if I screw up somewhere. Alright, now that I have my image outlined and the background finished, I can go around the edges of the page and color there. Just have to be careful not to color the other side. I mean, in this case, I only care so much because the other side has the same color going on, so I used the same material there. But let's say I would have had another color there, the other side, I would flick the paint towards the edge of the paper rather than making this kind of a move. I have to paint with my right hand, which is not my dominant hand, but I don't want to move the book now for that protection paper not to move too much to the other side. That's fun. Should have thought about that earlier, but I didn't because, well, I'm stupid like that. But it's still working. Fortunately enough, well, yes, I'm mostly left-handed, but I still can do things with my right hand. Rather, well, in a decent fashion. So there's the background. You see that I have it all covered. No white speckles. Looking good. All right, now I'm gonna close my bottle of black acrylics, and this will dry while I clean my brush in the sink. And I didn't use the second brush, so I can put that away. Now I'm gonna dry off the acrylics before I move my page. All right, that should do it. And I'm just gonna let it cool to room temperature, and then I can go around things with a white permanent marker. All right, now the paper is now still a bit crinkly. It was that crinkly when I painted the other side, this one here. And you've seen in the beginning how it straightened out. In the beginning, meaning the last video before I applied water to this part of the page. So what I'm going to do now is go around my image with the same white marker that I also used here for Sherlock. But I'm not gonna have those blobs colored yellow as I had them here with the Inktense, but I'm gonna have them white. And over time and with pressure and stuff, this page here will decrinkle. So when I come back to this book in a couple of months, it would be rather straight there. So let's go to the inner parts of the image first. I'm going to use a white gel pen for that. Just to get a nice white solid coverage of all the bigger or smaller dots here. And sometimes you don't need to have a very colorful, warm page like the Sherlock on the other side. There I did choose more of the warmer tones. With this one here, I did choose the night tones that are more desaturated. So you don't always have to have the warm yellowy night. You can have the cold gray and white night as a color theme going on. Alright, before I go to the outlines, I want to have a highlight on these construction cranes as well. Just a tiny one, not too heavy, and a tiny bit at the chimney too. Just a little bit. I'm going to pull this one so that it's not that heavy of an outline or a highlight. This one here can be a bit more heavy. All right, so that would be the gel pen part. Now, gonna go with a permanent marker. You can go with the Posca if you, or Posca or Posco. That's the name of the acrylic pen in the States. In Germany, I'd like to use Edding because it's the same thing, but it's produced here. Thus, it's less pricey for me to buy these things. Just gotta get some pigment flowing. There we go. That's more like it. Now I'm just gonna outline. And here I can clean up a few of the maybe not so awesomely blackened outlines of things. It's always helpful to be brave with your line work, so don't fret. Just go around the whole thing. Sometimes you want to exaggerate things just to make them look great. Just like, for example, here I need the peaky thing of the shard a bit heavier. And again, like I always say, move your book, turn it so that it is most comfortable for you to color or paint. Don't always have to look at the image right side up. All right, now I got it outlined, and now I want some more white going on here. Need a bit of gloss on top of the bigger circles. Okay. Oh, there's one more. All right, and now I want to incorporate the background to the foreground, meaning I want some dots, stars, things going on. Like in a diagonal line. Now comes the scary part again. Blob. And 4 lines and your finger. And you might get a star. And you're then gonna have a blob in the middle. All right, now I'm just gonna go back to the gel pen, and for one add some tinier, oh, come on, activate, thank you, some tinier dots here, because I don't want only the big stars, I want also some small ones. And I have the thing on my finger, so gosh, I need to repair that. That is not helpful, Miss King. But it's very helpful for you folks, maybe, how to repair stuff. For one, I'm gonna quickly give this a blast to dry. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to repair this one to not see it anymore, so I'm gonna work with it and make it part of the scene. And this one here, this part, I can actually repair. I just need a marker. This one should work. It's just a black Staedtler India ink marker. That should not be too glossy. Well, it is though. So let's go for the Faux-Castel permanent. Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay. That's more like that. I could actually also repair this part down here that I had screwed up. Alright. Let me see. Does this page need anything more? Yep, it needs more stars up here. The one star isn't enough. Actually work with gouache and sprinkle some splatters there. Maybe I will. Yep, I definitely will. Hold on. Let's introduce a new medium. It's called gouache, and that is an opaque watercolor. But what I need for that is a bit of a palette, because there it doesn't work with just having things be put out of the what's it called? Out of the bottle right away. And I also need a big paper to protect, but not the one that I had used with the black acrylics, because that one isn't dry yet, so this is a different paper. And I'm going just to have a tiny bit of a blob here of gouache. Thank you. I'm gonna spritz it with water, and then it's like watercolor but opaque. So spritzing the thingamajig with a bit of water, and I'm gonna have one of these fan brushes to mix things up. Let's see. Oh yeah, that has a nice consistency. Yep, it has. Can definitely splatter with this one. Let's see. Nope, I need more water. Oh, come on, really? There we go. More water, and I need one of these brushes for the bigger blobs and some for the smaller blobs. Bigger blob there in the middle, not wanted. So I'm gonna put that off as a highlight. But I actually need thinner wash for the smaller stars that I just sprinkle on like this. Could protect the other side too, that might not be too bad, but I don't mind if I have some gouache there. Actually, I do mind maybe, because I don't know what to do with that page yet. So let's just protect it just in case I want something super intricate going on there. Starry London. Too much. I'm gonna give the ones in the middle a bit of a yellow tint. But now I'm just gonna clean out my palette in the sink. And then I'm just gonna give this one a blast with my hairdryer and see what it looks like then. If I want to add something, I probably want to have a bit of a yellow. That should be enough. While I hair dried my image here, I also found a light yellow gel pen that I am now going to apply to some of the stars in the city, but just the outlines, just a tiny bit of a yellow tint. Nothing too much. Because if it's too much, it looks weird again, you know? And we don't like weird. At least I don't. I like whimsical, I like interesting, I like different, but I don't like weird too much. It's not my favorite way of artwork when it comes to coloring books. Right, one more up there, then I should have them all. I'll just make sure that I do not lean in any color again. Great, made it. Maybe a bit of a yellow tinted highlight here on the chimney. And the rest I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Yeah, that's enough. That's a way to change up coloring pages a lot. Let's put it this way, and almost have them look like a journal page, not just is in air quotes in this case, a coloring book page. If you don't fancy that, if you want to just go by the lines, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to do that in this coloring book as well. I actually got the right page with the Wall of China page here, but that's gonna take a while because now I'm gonna go back to the Outlander book and well, have the weapon of the Randalls, or maybe it's the Mackenzies. I have to do some research, and then I color that, and then we talk about a certain color again. So again, yet I haven't decided if I want to have blue or green as the next color to talk about. So I have to think about that for a bit. Maybe it's green because we're slowly moving into springtime. By the time those videos come out, that might actually be an idea. But for now, I'll leave you with this one. I hope you enjoyed watching along. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I will see you next week with back with the Outlander book and doing some coloring work there. I haven't decided yet what mediums to use. I will do that. Don't worry. I will have everything ready for you when the time comes. Take care, everybody. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it with a friend if you find that in this video there's something that could benefit your friend or mom or dad or grandma or whomever you want to send it to. And if you haven't already, like I said, subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the channel. I love to have you here. And enjoy, have fun, go color today, and have a lovely time there, folks. Bye.